Shabbat Shalom, everybody. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah YouTube channel. And we can't thank you guys enough for being a part of our little itty bitty tiny family on this beautiful appointed time of the beautiful Shabbat. And for those who have never joined this reading, we would love to welcome all of you guys and thank you guys for making this part of your day. This is a big part of our day where we worship with all of you guys, where we are keeping the commandments of our Creator and setting apart this appointed time. And we are the family who believes that the first 5 books of Scriptures, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, is the guidepost to life. We believe this is the rule set that if we will keep these laws, these statutes, and commandments that are found in the first 5 books, that indeed, based upon the truth of Scriptures, that says those who keep the commandments and those that have the faith of Messiah Yahushua will be saved. And so we are taking Scriptures at the value of what they have. And we don't believe that any of the laws, statutes, and commandments have ever been done away with, have ever been thrown away, or anything of that sort. So with that, we would like to welcome you guys and let us get into our very first song. And here we go.
Set apart, rest in His light. 6 days we labor, 6 days we move, but the 7th is called us, the rest we choose. And who are called in His Son for all, a covenant mark that will never fall. Shabbat rest, Shabbat Shalom, Yahuwah calls His children home. Set not a burden, not a chain. Shabbat heals the mind from strain. We stop, we breathe, we sing His name and honor Yahweh just the same. Shabbat rest, Shabbat Shalom, Yahuwah calls His children home. We're set apart, forever true. We guard His day. Shows the pattern clear. Rest was set from the first year. The world may rush, but we remain in Torah peace, not in vain. Shabbat rest, Shabbat Shalom, Yahuwah calls His children home. Set apart, forever true. We guard His faith. From Israel to every land, one Torah stands, one sure command. Shabbat shines as a crown of grace, a day of beauty, face to face. Shabbat rest, Shabbat Shalom, Yahuwah calls His children home. Set apart, forever true. We guard His day in all we do. Shabbat rest, Shabbat Shalom, Yahuwah calls His children home. Set apart, forever true. We guard His day in all we do.
All right, and then the next one is a sing-along here as well, and hopefully you guys are able to sing along with this, or at least know what the lyrics are with our little handy-dandy program we built called Salah.
Not by numbers, not by might. Yahweh's battles through the right. When pride falls and trust is sound, victory is always found. Army large was cut down small, so no flesh could boast at all. Strength reduced, faith refined, victory followed Yah's design. Not by numbers, not by might. Yahweh's battles through the right. When pride falls and trust is sound, victory is always found. Torches lit, trumpets cry. Fear and fast on every side. Yeah, fought battles unseen still. Faith obeyed His perfect will. Not by numbers, not by might. Yahweh's battles through the right. When pride falls and trust is sound, victory is always found. Less was more when Yah was near. Trust replaced the need for fear. Faith obeyed without delay. Yah alone received the praise. Not by numbers, not by might. Yahweh's battles through the right. When pride falls and trust is sound, victory is always found. Stand firm though the odds seem wrong. Yah gives strength to make you strong. Trust His word and follow through. Victory belongs to you. Not by numbers, not by might. Yahweh's battles through the right. When pride falls and trust is sound, victory is always found. Not by numbers, not by might. Yahweh's battles through the right. When pride falls and trust is sound, victory is always found. Yahuwah is judge and king, lawgiver over everything. We are safe when we obey. His rule stands firm every day. Not man-made laws, not shifting sand. Torah written by His hand. Justice flows from His decree. Freedom found in loyalty.
right, beautiful family. Here we are. Welcome to the Shabbat reading of this. Kate, will you please open us up in prayer?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for this Shabbat, the day you have separated, the day you have separated from the rest of the world, and we thank you for this day. We thank you for the rest that you have given to us. We thank you for your Son. We thank you for the prophets. We thank you for the Torah. We thank you for the family around us today that is here to celebrate this wonderful day you have given to us, that is here with us from all across the world. We thank you for them. We ask that your blessings and your ruach is upon us all today. We thank you for in His name. Amen.
Okay. All right. So, guys, we are going to read this beautiful thing, and it is called the Shema. And, guys, you'll have to bear with us. We have a lot of dogs. We have 9 pit bulls, and literally they've never been caged or kenneled. And so they live free. They live all around us. And so right now they are making some noise. And so you're always going to hear a little bit of barking, but that's just what you're going to put up with if you want to hang with the Boss Clan out here in these jungles. So, Jade, will you please Shema our brothers and sisters? And, guys, as we're reading this, very much listen to these words. These words are a promise to us, and they are also basic instructions. Now, if you had to wrap up all of the scriptures into, say, 5 or so verses, this would be where it is. Because it starts off, and if you do not know your identity, my friends, you guys are what you would call Hebrews. If you are a law keeper, if you take the first 5 books of scriptures, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, and you make that part of your life, then that makes you part of Yisrael. And so as we are reading this, this is addressed to you. This is addressed to all of us. So these are the basic guidelines for our walk with our Creator. Jay.
Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might. And these words I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
Now, as you can see, these are some pretty specific instructions that the main goal of these instructions right here is that we love our Creator with all our heart, and we also have the Torah, His laws, statutes, and commandments in our lives, so much that we are impressing them upon our children. Now, for those who don't understand, when we impress things upon our children, we're not just telling them, right? And I want to give it a little example. And my kids don't even know this is actually coming. But this is something that we had a little Torah in our own house. When the kids were always small, we always said something, and I want to give you guys a little example of it, that when we do certain things, we take care of business. Now, I'm going to say something, and I'm going to see if you guys are what your response is. All right? You guys ready? Cut. Clear. Right. Every time these guys were young, every time that we used knives, and we're outdoorsy kind of people, we always had this thing when we were cutting. I would say cut, and everybody said clear, right? I wanted to make sure all my kids were away from the danger of this kind of stuff. And this was the Torah of our house as little kids. And I will be able to say that up until I'm a kabillion years old or long after that. And these guys will always understand the principles of the cut and clear. And, that was something that I was thinking about this week, that when we have these types of instructions in our lives, when Satan comes around and he's trying to get us to violate these commandments, we're going to hear cut in our minds, right? We're going to hear something that like, hey, guys, be wary. And this is what this Shema is all about right here, right? This Shema is about us understanding the laws of our Creator so that when anything comes to tempt us or take care of us in a negative fashion, that we are able to clear, that we are able not to get cut by the devil's nasty work and the devil's ways. So as we begin, Miss Nicole, will you please say hi to our brothers and sisters out there?
All right, we have William and Sarah. We have Josh Rhodes.
Oh, what's up, Josh Rhodes and Sarah? What's up, everybody?
We have Yahuwah 777, which he's in Australia, and they will slaughter his name, so I'm not even going to try. We have Danny Boy, Sue Smith. We have Bianca, new name, welcome to you. Jeannie Not of This World, Sylvia, Jeremy and Callan, Kathy, Loving Yaw, Sandra, a new name, Rita Charlie, welcome to you.
Hi, Rita, Charlie.
Did I say Colleen?
If not, hello, Colleen.
The Judge,
What's up, buddy?
Obi Lines,
Chris.
Hannah, Brandy and family, Pamela, and I want to just pop in and say that we'll be praying for her. Her mom died in her sleep last night,
Oh,
so she
no.
asked for prayers.
Oh, no.
And also Yahoo 777, which I think it's Dragoon. but
Dragoon?
I'm not 100% sure if that's
I think
how
it's
you say it or not.
Dragoon. I don't think it's Dragoon. There's only one O, I think, in that. So,
I think it's a U, actually.
is it a U?
I think so.
We're gonna-
I don't know, but we're going to slaughter it anyways.
We're
But
old.
anyways, we're praying for your dad as well. So, anyways,
What's up, Josh?
I'll keep going on. Let's see, where am I at? Dolly and Jerry. And
Love you guys,
Christina.
definitely.
And I think I said Hannah, but if not, hi to Hannah.
Hannah's such a cool name. We want to say it twice. It is a super cool name.
I think that's everything.
All right, well,
If I missed anybody, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sister Barb and family.
Oh, Sister Barb and family. We got our diatribe of little friends and family that are out there. And it is an honor and it is a baruka. It is a blessing of our Creator that we are able to gather around this table along with everybody that is out there. And it is, for all the technology, as crazy as everybody thinks it is, and as bad as it is, having features and access to where all of us across the world, right? I got all you guys over in Australia. You guys are standing on your heads listening to this. You got all of the people worldwide. And I guess you're standing on your heads. That's what they say. But here we are, guys. And so it is a beautiful time. So let us get into this. What we're going to do right now is we're going to go over these beautiful laws, these statutes, and these commandments. And, I had a brother, and, for those who do not know, we have a ministry, and we're always writing brothers and sisters in chains. And the questions and the comments and the problems that come up from those that are in chains is the same stuff that you and I run into in a different fashion out here in the real world. And one of the brothers wrote in and he goes, Jason, about a year or so ago, you guys shipped me a Yah scriptures. And now I've been investigating the Talmud, the Zohar, and the Kabbalah. And I wanted to know exactly what your thoughts were on that. And this is a very good topic for discussion, because how I responded to him is I went out there and I went and I defined exactly what the Zohar was, what the Talmud was, what all of the rest of these, what I'm going to call extracurricular reading material that I do not believe should be classified as reading material. Now, I preface this because we have a commandment that we're just about to go over that says, do not add and do not take away from the Torah. Now, that may seem simple enough, but when you get into extracurricular Judaistic maneuvering of the books, and when I did a definition of these books that come out of Judaism, it's literally, some of them is black magic. It's literal Jewish Judaism black magic. And when you look at their tree of life and the Kabbalah and all of these other things, these are things that we have been told not to partake in. Now, that would be the same thing as Christianity. When you look at what is it to be a Christian, because you're supposed to be a follower of our Mashiach. You're supposed to be a follower of Christ. Now, our Mashiach, he was a Torah keeper. He lived and died by the Torah, literally. And he told us that his instructions were his dad's instructions. He told us that we need to keep this set of instructions for all times. So when you decide that you're going to eat food that is not good for you, you are doing the same thing that those who are studying the Zohar and Kabbalah are doing, right? You're adding to and taking away from it, and you're making your own set of doctrine. Now, you can give me any one of the religious systems, hundreds of thousands of them across these lands, and every single one of them are contrary to what our scriptures tell us to do. So how do we align ourselves and our lives to the scriptures? Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to unlearn all of this madness that we have been polluted with. Because as youth, a lot of us have been instructed in these satanic guidelines. The once saved, always saved. The you can never lose your salvation. You can the all Jesus has nailed the laws to the cross. These are all very much satanic in terms of what the scriptures say, because it goes against the laws, statutes, and commandments. And if you went back to Yisrael and you walked into the camp and you said all food had been made clean, they would march you out of the camp and they would pick up rocks and they would kill you, right? If you decided that you were going to go worship on a Sunday, a first day, if you wanted to be a tribe, a part of the tribes of Yisrael, you wouldn't be out on a Shabbat picking up sticks. We know that that didn't end well for the individual that did that. So these are the laws, statutes, and commandments that we are told to keep. And when you read them, they're very simple. They're very exact. And they are things that when we put them into our lives, you will absolutely choose life. And that is what the entire point of the Torah is. What we're about to read right here is what the scriptures refer to as either life or death. When we keep the Torah, by default, we are participating in life. But when we reject the Torah, when we reject the right rulings of our Creator, then by default, we are choosing death. So let's get into this, gentlemen. Let us read these beautiful laws, these beautiful statutes and commandments that have been given to us as a gift. Be fruitful.
Multiply.
Replenish the earth.
Subdue it. Have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living creature.
The herb bearing, and every tree is for food.
Men and women should build their own families.
Master sin.
Every clean winged thing that lives shall be food for you.
Do not eat the
Walk before me and be perfect.
Guard Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments.
Every male should be circumcised at 8 days old.
Teach your children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah.
Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations.
Keep the Passover, Pesach.
Keep the feast of unleavened bread, festival of Matzah.
There is one Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew.
Sanctify.
And guys, what that means right here, this particular law, is there is no Christian, there is no Muslim, there is no, you name whatever religion, fill it in, whatever it is. There is no right doctrine other than the first 5 books of scriptures. That's why it's reiterated right here 5 times that there is one Torah. If you want to be a child of the Most High, if you want to be considered for the kingdom to come, if you want the salvation that the scriptures offer, then there's one Torah. There's no other Torah. And when you take a Torah of a religious system, be it whatever it wants to be, let's pick on Mormons real quick, right? They they go and they will baptize for the dead. That's not in our Torah. What about it? You can pick any one of these religions and you can look at them and then you look and compare them to the actual scriptures and it doesn't exist. It's not there. Where did we inherit it at? How did this get into our doctrine? It's the same thing with the Trinitarian doctrine. The Trinitarian doctrine, it was something that was about 200 AD, and it went from 200 AD all the way to 325 AD, where the Catholics put together the Creed of Nicaea, where they decided for everybody that the Father and the Son and the Ruach HaKodesh are all the same individual, and they decided that we're going to have one God. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter. It could be 3 or 4 or whatever it is. We're going to have all 3 of those. But scriptures doesn't support it. Even in the scriptures of Matthew, where it says we will baptize in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Ruach HaKodesh, that doesn't justify the Trinity. In the name of is everything about that. So when we want to get to correct scriptures, we have to understand that there's only one Torah. And if you want to be on the right side of history, then being on the right side of the Torah is something we all need in our lives. Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah.
There are no mighty ones before me.
No, not before you, before Yahuwah.
Before you.
Yeah.
That's
No.
all right. My phone was turned off.
You got it, though. Hey, at least you got that one.
You shall not make graven images.
Do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught.
Keep the Shabbat.
And here we are, appointed time. Look at this. Reiterated a bunch of times, tons of times. And the rest of the scriptures, everybody's keeping Shabbat, right? There's no changing from a 7th day to a first day. Those are all satanic things. Those are all lies that we have all inherited. Honor your parents.
Do not kill.
Do not break wedlock.
Do not steal.
Do not make false accusations against your neighbor.
Do not covet anything of your neighbors.
Do not make an altar from a rock that the tool has touched.
Do not go up to the altar by the steps.
If a man steals cattle, he shall restore it 5 times.
Yahuwah's laws for criminals.
Do Do not lie with beasts.
No sacrifices to other Elohim.
Do not oppress a stranger, fatherless, or widow.
Do not charge your brother interest.
If you borrow your neighbor's raiment, return to him before sunset.
Do not curse the ruler of your people.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast.
No false report.
Do not follow multitude of evil.
Do not judge righteously against the poor.
Bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray.
Help the animals of your enemy.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers.
Take no bribes.
Do not oppress a stranger, love the stranger.
Give your land rest in the 7th year.
Do not mention any pagan names.
Keep the feast of Yahuwah.
Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk.
Obey the messenger Yahuwah sends before you.
Do not bow down to other Elohim.
Serve Yahuwah.
Make no covenant with other Elohim or outsiders of the land.
Do not make use of anointing oil on a normal person. Do not make use of perfume on a normal person.
Do not eat the fat.
Do what you say you are going to do.
Return what is your neighbor's.
Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws.
Women's time of separation.
Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws.
Eat the Day of Atonement, Yom HaKippurim.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family.
Do not take your woman's sister for wife.
Do not lie with a woman in her uncleanness.
You shall not sacrifice your children to Moloch.
Do not be a sodomite.
Be Kodesh, holy.
Do not reap the corners of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard.
Do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor.
Do not lie or be a liar.
Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due.
Do not harm the disabled.
Do not endanger your neighbor.
Do not hate your brother.
Rebuke your neighbor for his sin.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Do not diverse your cattle.
Do not mingle your seed.
Do not mingle linen and wool.
Do not lie with the taken woman.
Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years.
Do not practice sorcery.
Do not round your beard or the corners of your head.
Do not cut yourself for the dead.
Do not get tattoos.
Do not prostitute your daughter.
Do not defile your temple.
Do not consult a medium.
Respect your elders.
Have correct weights and measures.
Do not walk in the manners of the nation.
Keep the feast of first fruit, Shavuot, Omer, Pentecost.
Keep the Feast of Trumpets, Yom Teruah.
Keep the feast of Coat, Shemini Atzeret.
You blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death.
If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another.
Repay injury for injury.
Honor the Obel, the Jubilee year.
Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay who you have trespassed against.
The Torah of being Nazir.
Wear easy on the four corners of your garments.
The laws of whoever touches a corpse.
Follow Yahuwah's law of inheritance.
The law of keeping your oath to Yahuwah.
Do not add or take away from the word.
Guard your soul.
Learn to fear Yahuwah.
You shall love Yahuwah with all your heart.
Bind the laws upon your hand and the frontlets between your eyes.
Write the laws on your doorposts.
Do not tempt Yahuwah.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah.
Do not be afraid of your enemies.
Remember Yahuwah.
Circumcise your heart.
Cleave to Yahuwah.
Swear by his name.
Destroy graven images.
Do not make an idol of Yahuwah as the pagans do to their Elohim.
Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with.
Do not do what is right in your own eyes.
Do not hearken to the words of the false prophets.
Do not make any balls between your eyes for the dead.
You shall not eat any abominable thing.
You shall give to a stranger clean food that dies of itself, but you shall not eat of it.
Give tithe of your increase of seed year by year.
Laws of the end of the 7-year lease.
Do not borrow from the nations.
Do not harden your heart nor shut your hand from the poor.
Guard month 1 of Yahuwah's calendar.
3 times a year all males shall appear before Yahuwah.
You shall make judges and officers in all your gates.
Do not plant Asherah poles near the altar.
There must be 2 or 3 witnesses.
Hearken unto the prophet Yahuwah has chosen.
Prophetess of Deuteronomy.
Do not remove your neighbor's property line.
How to deal with a false witness among Torah keepers.
First childs get double portions.
If your brother's cattle or clothes are lost and you find them, you must return them.
A woman should not wear what pertains to a man, nor a man wear what pertains to a woman.
You find a bird's nest with the mother, and the babies or eggs, take the babies, but not the mother.
If you build a new house with a flat roof that is able to be lived on, you must put a railing around it.
Do not be a prostitute.
Do not use dirty money.
Law of divorce.
Do not take a person's millstone for a pledge.
If you lend to your brother, do not enter his house to get your payment. He must bring it to you. Return his clothing before sunset, if that was his pledge.
Do not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy.
Every man shall be put to death for his own sin.
Do not go back for the forgotten sheep from the field. Leave for the stranger, fatherless, and widow.
Do not muzzle your ox when he treads out grain.
If your brother dies and has no child, you shall take his wife, name the firstborn after your brother.
At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah at the Feast of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles.
All right, so there we are, guys. As you can see, from what we read here, I think we could all probably agree these are not hard to do or hard to take care of. These are all things that have been I mean, there's simple stuff. I mean, when you look at the pagan cultures, the satanic religious systems, and the things that they do, they're far more harder than this, right? Take for instance, sorry, that was my Bluetooth, guys. Take for instance, when we eat unclean foods, we get sick. We get, there's so much about Torah keeping that if we change our lives to be part of this, then it makes a difference for everything. So, guys, with that, we are getting into Deuteronomy 19, and it is again one of my favorite books. Deuteronomy, in of itself, is a summary. It's a summary book. We don't get a tremendous amount new commands out of Deuteronomy, but we get a summary that is just beautiful. And so, Jade, if you'll give us a breakdown of where we're at to this action right here, and
The Hebrews, the children of Israel, are sitting outside of the promised land, and Moshe has instructed the generation, and because the older generation was cursed and was not allowed to go into the land,
why were they cursed?
they were fearful of the giants. They disobeyed Yahuwah a lot, and they were just really stiff-necked people that came out of Egypt. And so the new generation, they have grown up with the Torah. They should be the perfect people. The people that follow and obey Yahuwah. They've seen many, many things now at this point. They've seen miracles since they were little kids, and now they are quite a bit older. And in the last chapter, we learned that the Levites, they don't get a part of the land. They will live in amongst the other tribes, and their inheritance is working for Yahuwah, doing the sacrifices, cleaning the temple, doing what Yahuwah has instructed them to do.
All right. Okay, here we are. Right? So let's roll. Devarim, chapter 19. When Yahuwah, your Elohim, cuts off the nations whose land Yahuwah, your Elohim, has given you, and you dispossess them and dwell in their cities and in their houses, separate 3 cities for yourself in the midst of your land, which Yahuwah, your Elohim, is giving you to possess. Prepare a way for yourself and divide into 3 parts the border of your land, which Yahuwah, your Elohim, is giving you to inherit, that anyone who killed someone shall flee there. And this is the matter of one who killed someone, who flees there and live. He who smites his neighbor unintentionally, not having hated him in the time past, even he who goes into the forest with his neighbor to cut timber, and his hand swings a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slips off from the handle and strikes his neighbor so that he dies, let him flee to one of these cities and live.
Such a specific incident.
It is a specific incident. There's a lot,
If it probably happened, I would imagine not, because if people aren't working together and
especially back then.
Yeah, I mean the tools probably weren't like they are now.
It's probably easier to cut a tree down than try to attempt to cement something, especially back in the days. So I would imagine there were probably this is probably one of the biggest work that you had to do, right? Get lumber and bring in stuff. I mean, how else would you build stuff, maybe out of like mud or something of the sort.
And we know during Solomon's days they had hired like a whole city to cut wood.
Yeah, they cut down entire like forests and had them floated down the river and popped in. I mean, it was the cedars of Lebanon.
It was a very big process of work, a lot of people to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, continuing on here, finishing off with 4.5. Not having hated him in time past, basically you accidentally killed this guy and you had no beef with this cat. Even he who goes to the forest with his neighbor to cut timber and his hand swings a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slips from the handle and strikes his neighbor so that he dies. Let him flee to one of these cities and live, lest the revenger of blood, while his displeasure is hot, pursue the one who killed someone and overtake him. Because the way is long, and shall smite him, though he was not worthy of death, since he had not aided him before. So this is the difference between what is I guess it's still like a murder, right? I mean, it would be how they have it in the States. You either have capital murder or you have like second or third or fourth or whatever degree murder. This is what it would be, right? If you had no intent and you accidentally killed somebody, then this is the way it rolls. 7. Therefore, I am commanding you, saying, separate 3 cities for yourself. And if Yahuwah your Elohim enlarges your border, as he swore to your fathers, and has given you the land which he promised to give your fathers, when you guard all this command to do it, big thing, right? This huge part of this sentence. When you guard all this command to do it, what command are we talking about, gents?
The running to the city.
Yeah, and when we're talking about guarding all the command, and which it's all the commands, right? From Genesis to Deuteronomy, these are what we are instructed to guard, right? We remember that huge honking Torah command that's over 53 times where we need to guard it. We need to defend it. When people are like, the laws are dead, those are laughing matters to us, right? Not really laughing matters, but in a sense, these people can't be logical, right? This has got to be a joke. Because a lot of us used to say this, right? A lot of us used to be hooked up in this hoax. A lot of us used to tell people, oh, yeah, all of these things. But now we've learned that that was nonsense. It was foolishness when we thought that these laws, statutes, and commandments had gone away. So when you guard all this command to do it, which I'm commanding you today, to love Yahuwah, your Elohim, and to walk in his ways. Now, the word ways, guys, has an S on it, which means it is plural. Right? We're not talking one way, two ways, three ways. We have 100 and some ways that we can keep today. All of his ways, right? There's not a Torah command that we can just say, okay, it has less weight or any of that, because as we know from scriptures, if you break one command, you break them all. And that doesn't mean that, the Christians will take that and they'll go, well, if you break one, you break them all, which means we shouldn't be doing any of these, right? Oh yeah, you shouldn't even try. And that is, again, foolishness, laziness, spiritual laziness, things that are very, very foul when it comes to guarding our soul. So continuing on, then you shall add these 3 more cities for yourself besides these 3, so that innocent blood is not shed in the midst of your land, which Yahuwah your Elohim has given you as an inheritance, or blood guilt shall be upon you. But when anyone hates his neighbor, and shall lie in wait for him, and rise against him, and smite the life from him, so that he dies, then he shall flee to one of these cities, and the elders of the city shall send and bring him from there, and give him into the hand of the revenger of blood, and he shall die.
So basically, if you do this on purpose, there's no hope for you.
Yeah, you go running to a city of refuge, and they're going to hand you over to this really hot cat, right? The cousin, the brother, somebody who loves this dude, and it's like, I'm gonna take care of business. And there's something to be said here, right? This is obviously, we are not in the land. So you go and you try to run a Torah command like this, where we're at right now, you're going to go down for murder, right? 2 wrongs do not make a right. But at the same time, it seems like the revenger of blood had a lot of leeway that they're going to hand you over to this guy, right? The guy comes to the city gates. He's going to go, this guy has done this and that, and they're going to grab you, take you out, and this guy's going to have his way.
I guess the only way, prove this guy is guilty is basically the way he died and witnesses.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And that's again, the perfection of the Torah, right? At the behest of multiple witnesses, a situation has been established, which is why, we have to be credible in everything that we're saying. Continue on. 13. Your eye shall not pardon him, but you shall purge the blood of the innocent from Yisrael, so that it might be well with you. Do not continue on to the next thing, right? So it just goes from there. Now we're going to the next part. Do not remove your neighbor's boundary, which those in the past have bound in your inheritance, which you inherit in the land that Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you to possess. Right? Obviously, this was probably a problem, and this same problem, coming from the United States of America, everybody was moving their fence line out a little bit, right? Everybody wants that little extra 2 inches, 3 inches, right? And they will go outside. They'll poach a little bit further. They'll go next to the road and take a little bit of the road, things of that nature. And that's not what we are supposed to do. And so, continuing on, one witness does not rise up against a man concerning any wickedness or any sin that he commits. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, a matter is established, right? Nothing is done according to the Torah law where you do not have more than 1 credible witness. You got to have more than 1. 16. When a malicious witness rises up against any man to accuse him of turning aside, then both men who have the dispute shall stand before Yahuwah, before the Kohen and the judges who serve in those days, and the judges shall diligently search and see if the witness is a false witness who has falsely accused his brother. Then you shall do to him as he thought to have done to his brother. Thus you shall purge the evil from your midst. This reminds me of, you end up with the kids, right? And the little kids bite each other. And sometimes the only way to stop the kids from biting each other is to bite them, right? And that literally happened when the kids were growing up, right? We had some incidents where, they're just like 1 year old, they decided to biting, and the twins, right? There's still a twin that has a bite mark on the other twin's back. And I think it was Jaden that bit Caden.
Jaden bit Caden.
And they left a bite mark on his back.
Huge.
we were tripping. We were like, oh my. But at some level, I don't remember.
So what did I do?
I don't know if Mr. Cole did the canine method and just started biting the
I bit
kids.
Jaden's
But
finger and I told him, do not bite.
did he bite again after that?
No, he didn't.
Oh, there you go. Live and learn. Continued on. 18. And the judges shall diligently search to see if the witness is a false witness who has falsely accused his brother. Then you shall do to him as he thought to do to his brother. And that can be very bad, right? Can you imagine that? You decide that you want to, give this guy tar and feathered, whatever it is, and all this stuff, evil that you said, gets caught out, and you end up with that exact thing. So, 20, and let the rest hear and revere and never do this evil matter in your midst, right? Look at him, right? Set the example. This is what the Torah is about, right? This is why you drag people outside the city gates and you kill them as you discourage evil in your midst, right? If there's no wrong or right, you don't get into trouble for any of this stuff, then it doesn't really matter. But at the expense of your life are some of these crimes that if you do. Now, we live in such a beta weak society that you even discuss this stuff and people are like, oh, what kind of God would do this? What kind of God would go and kill you for committing adultery? What kind of God would do this, right? And they don't understand it's an Elohim of mercy. It is our Elohim of justice. And when you keep Torah and walk Torah, it becomes something that you must have the justice of the Torah to make life better. 21, and let your eye not pardon, life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. So basically, the bottom line is keep the Torah and keep it right? When people are keeping the Torah, it makes life better and it makes a community better. It makes people better. And if you want to be a part of the kingdom to come, you're going to be a Torah observant people, right? That's what the kingdom is going to be. We're going to be keeping Shabbats, appointed times. We're going to be hanging with people that love our Elohim for real and not these fake people that are like, yep, we love God with all our heart, mind, and soul, but we hate his commands, right? It just makes no sense. Here we are, guys. Yeah, my neighbor built on the property line. Yeah, only in South Africa. No, it's not only in South Africa. It's everywhere, sis. The States, I remember the States always doing it. People in Panama do it. I mean, it's everywhere. It's like everybody wants that little extra couple inches, right? That makes my yard a little bit better. And, there's disputes all the time in every country, every place. The States has, their legal system and their surveyors and everybody comes out. Got to get it figured out. But according to Torah, we aren't to be messing around for those extra inches anywhere. Okay. Yochanan, chapter 13. Jade, take us.
So Yehoshua is traveling Jerusalem right now. He is in the holy city. And
Passover.
Yep.
Woo!
And he just healed Eleazar, and life is pretty freaky for a lot of the people. They really hate Yehoshua. Some of them loved him. The ones who were against him originally thought it was even worse now because the people were going to follow this guy even more. So Yehoshua brought this guy back to life, something they'd never seen before, right? Only one other time that we know that people brought back to life, and that was in, I think it was Elisha or Elijah.
Elijah, wasn't it?
I thought it was the second guy.
Elisha, yeah, the second guy. I thought it was Elijah. I thought it was I thought that was, maybe it was Elisha. I get those guys mixed up. All right.
Yeah, they're pretty similar. But Yehoshua is going on teaching. They're getting near the Passover, and it is not looking good.
Yeah. All right, here we are. And the festival of the Pesach. And the festival of Pesach, Yahushua, knowing that his hour had come, that he should move out of this world unto the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. This is pretty sad. It's a pretty sad statement, right? These are all Trinity breaking verses, right? The entire Bible breaks the Trinity. And when we get into the Trinity, it's a very dangerous precipice. It's a very dangerous doctrine. And you can end up praying to Yahushua, praying to Jesus as they do. And I even, there's Torah-based groups that will sit there and, huge channels of like 100,000 people. And they're like, yeah, we pray to Messiah. We pray to the Ruach HaKodesh. When there's no place anywhere in scriptures that we have any kind of instructions like that, right? We know we're supposed to pray to the Father. But this is a really sad moment that, the Passover, Messiah became the sacrificial lamb of the Passover. And all the way coming up into Passover, you could tell Messiah was very broken. He knew what was coming, and any of us that would have to live through, or not even live through, but be subjected to Roman torture, it's a different set of instructions, right? According to the Torah, we can be beat up to 39 times, right? After 40, regardless of the crime, it becomes inhumane. Whereas the Romans, they'll torture you to death and they'll laugh and dance around as they're doing it, right? It's a totally different level of violence. And so being subjected into people who are not under the Torah is even worse than, falling into the hand. I would much rather probably I'm not even say probably, I would much rather have stones to my head than have to do what Messiah Yahushua did, right? It would be a much better ending, far better ending. Continuing on. And supper taking place, the devil having already put it in the heart of Yehuda from Kerioth of Shimon to deliver him up, Yahushua, knowing that the Father had given all into his hands and that he had come from Yahuwah and was going to Yahuwah, rose from the supper and laid aside his garments, and having taken a towel, he girded himself. Now, again, I hate to keep stressing this out, but unfortunately, the Trinity has become such a plague in people's understanding of scriptures that I have to talk about this, right? When it says right here, Yahushua, knowing that the Father had given all into his hands, again, this would be a false statement. If Yahushua was Yahuwah, then of course everything was into his hands. He wouldn't have to say, Yahuwah, I'm giving Yahuwah I'm tricking it to Yahushua. We're just gonna call Yahushua, but I'm giving it all into your hands, right? That is the problem with the Trinity, is it doesn't make any sense at all. And when you go back to the story of Abram and Isaac, and you see the father being asked to slay the son, and everybody going, well, that's crazy, that is insane. This is the same insanity that our Creator did to his own son. Abraham wasn't asked to go up to the altar and slit his own throat. He was there to sacrifice and take the life of his son. That same part of scriptures was delivered all the way down throughout the genealogy, all the way to Yahushua, to where that Abram and Isaac story was finished off. And so this was the genius of the Creator of the universe, that he put together such an event. Continuing on, Messiah Yahushua just girded himself, put a towel around him. He's getting ready to do something that, when you think about washing people's feet, it's a gross thing, right? I mean,
Especially back then. Right? Open like sandals, so it's dusty and just not great. Yeah, there's nothing really protecting their feet.
Nothing to protect their feet. Yeah, no, it's one of those things that it's probably one of the last things that you would choose to do on things that you would enjoy to do, right? And so this is why our Messiah did this. It is such a humbling experience that you have to be a servant to do this. And this is what our Messiah was showing us, is the servitude of our Messiah, is that he didn't just come to change one thing or do one thing. He came to show us how the Torah was supposed to be run. This is an example right here of the Torah made flesh. 6. And he came to Shimon Kiefa and said to him, Adonai, do you wash my feet? Yahushua answered and said to him, you do not know what I am doing now, but you shall know after this. Kiefa said to him, by no means shall you wash my feet, ever. Yahushua answered him, if I do not wash you, you have no part with me. Hardcore stuff, right? How do you make sense of this, right? How do you make sense of this? Having the one you love, that you adore, it's like a man, saying, wife, wash my feet, right? You love, you adore your wife. You're like, why would I ever want her to sit here and wash my nasty grubs, right? Ever. But then you have the one that you love, the one you defend and protect, and he's like sitting here trying to wash your feet. How do you make sense of this, right? Yeah, you got to love Kifa. Yeah, he's a this guy is he's a savage, and I'm saying that in a great way. 10. Actually,
9.
no, actually, okay. Then there's Shimon.
10.
Is it 10? No, I think so. Shimon Kiefa said to him, Adonai, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. All right, hey, you know what? If you're going to wash my feet, you might as well wash it all. Yahushua said to him, he who has had a bath does not need to wash, except his feet, but is clean altogether. And you are clean, but not all of you. Okay? Big stuff, right? What is the difference, guy? Eli, Cade, what is the difference between somebody that's clean and somebody that's not clean? What would we define this by?
In Deuteronomy, you're talking about the ritually unclean.
What today? What makes us clean? What makes us not unclean? What defines that? How do you become unclean?
By touching something that is not holy, by like touching a corpse, dealing with unclean foods, blood.
Yeah, and what else? Like, what makes you unclean?
Sin?
Over time.
I sin. Yeah, I would venture to say that not keeping the Torah or keeping it partially or when we come into Jewish Talmudic stuff, right? And you come into like mysticism and Zohar and all of this witchcrafty kind of stuff, right? You can feel like, those are all things, everything that is outside of Torah makes us unclean, right? When we start studying this, and this was the danger of that brother in chains, where he was already studying all of these satanic things, is that when you start learning these things, you can get confused, especially if you are not very much cemented into Torah. This is why I have always told everybody out there, if you're new to Torah, if you're just learning this, the greatest thing you can ever do for your life and for your family and all that is to read the first 5 books of scriptures 5 times slowly. Go through it 5 times until you get it. The first time you may put you to sleep. Second time may get a little more exciting. When you make it to the end of Deuteronomy and our homeboy Moshe passes away, you have succeeded when you end up with a tear in your eye. When that becomes such a big deal because you have traveled with the people of Yisrael throughout these 5 books, and all of a sudden our leader of the leaders dies and you can feel that gut shot, then you know that you're understanding this very, very well. Continue on, 11. For he knew who would deliver him up, Yahudah of the Skeriot. So he said, you are not all clean. So when he had washed their feet and taken his garments and sat down again, he said to them, do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Aaron. And you say, well, for I am Aaron and teacher have washed your feet. You also ought to wash one another's feet. For I gave you an example that you should do as I have done to you. Truly, truly, I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor an emissary greater than he who sent him. If you know these, Baruch, blessed are you if you do them. I do not speak concerning all of you. I know whom I have chosen, but that the scripture might be fulfilled, he who eats bread with me has lifted up his heel against me. Now I say to you before it takes place, that when it does take place, you shall believe that I am. Now, let's talk about this. Right here is one of these Christian verses where they will go, look, it says I am. Where else does it say I am? Right? I am is not saying that he is taking on the deity of his father, right? Because people say this, and I've done this example before. I ask my kids, are you the son of Jason? Their answer is, I am. They're not saying they're me. They're not taking on their pops' ways. They're simply saying the truth, right? I am, right? So we have to make sure that we let Scripture speak for what Scriptures say and take the mysteries out of it, because there is no mystery in Scriptures. You get all these crazy people, and they're always doing some crazy stuff, and these word things, and these letters mean stuff. Scripture is what Scripture says, and so we have to take it for that. 20. Truly, truly, I say to you, he who receives whomever I send receives me, and he who receives me receives him who sent me. And for those who don't understand, the individual who sent our Messiah is Yahuwah, his dad. People have called him God. Again, that's a sir title. It's not even, it doesn't identify the name of our creator. He is a God, an uppercase God, but that's not his name. We don't want to call our Elohim Most High Mr. Say, hey, Mr., dear Mr. That's the same thing. When you call him God, you're taking away his name, what he wants people to know and celebrate and have. And again, that's a huge problem when it comes to Judaism, right? Because you could tell when people come out of Judaism, because they will talk to you and they'll say like G_D, or they will say Hashem or various other things. And you're like, where did this come from? Why are we saying this? And then we have to go and we have to look and figure this out. Now, continuing on, when Yahushua had said this, he was troubled in spirit and witnessed and said, truly, truly, I say to you, one of you shall deliver me up. This is crazy stuff, right? I'm sure everybody's ready. I'm sure Kifa decided he was going to go arrest somebody right there in that room, right? And it's like, oh yeah, who is it? Let me see what's up. You could definitely know that dude was going for him. The Talmudim, and that again, Talmudim is simply disciples, looked at one another, doubting of whom he spoke. And one of his Talmudim, whom Yahushua loved, was reclining on the bosom of Yahushua. And again, this is how close our Messiah was to people, right? These people loved each other as brothers, as family. When Messiah Yahushua clarifies who our family is anybody who's keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. So all of you guys that are out there that are listening, forget your blood families. We're all family here, right? This is us. If you want some law-abiding family members, it's not going to be in our bloodline, unfortunately, for most of us. Continuing on. Shimon Kepha then motioned to him to ask who it was of whom he spoke. Tell me, Messiah. I'll make sure they don't leave this place. And leaning back on the breast of Yahushua, he asked him, Adonai, who is it? Yahushua answered, it is he to whom I shall give a piece of bread when I have dipped it. And having dipped the bread, he gave it to Yehuda of Kerioth of Shimon. Now I envision this was the verse 26 was a beginning of the night and towards where they were having their dinner, that this little tidbit just happened, right? I'm sure I don't think Yehuda would sit there and having been exposed would have taken this, right? I think it was something that they were just kind of watching. They probably had a little backstories and they're probably like, okay, let's see who he is. And then when he dipped and gave it to Yehuda, it was probably on. Things probably changed at that moment. 27. And after the piece of bread, Satan entered into him. Who's him? Yehuda. Yahushua therefore said to him, what you do quickly. But no one at the table knew why he said this to him. For some were supposing because Yehuda had the bag that Yahushua was saying to him, buy what we need for the festival, or that he should give somewhat to the poor. So having received the piece of bread, he then went out straight away, and it was night. So again, this whole incident went down without everybody figuring this out. And, I'm sure this was one night, if you were a fly on the wall, can you imagine this? Imagine that. So continuing on. I'm just trying to check out the chat here. Anything interesting here? It's always interesting, but I just can't keep up with you guys. I wish I could. I need another computer here. Okay. When therefore he went out, Yahushua said, now the son of Adam, has been esteemed, and Yahuwah has been esteemed in him. Again, Trinity breaking. If Yahuwah has been esteemed in him, if Yahuwah has been esteemed in him, Yahuwah shall also esteem him in himself, and straightway esteem him. Little children, yet a little while I am with you. You shall seek me, and as I said to the Yahudim, where I am going, you are unable to come. I now also say to you, a renewed command I give to you, that you love one another, as I have loved you, that you also love one another. Okay, a couple things to discuss right here. One of the things is that people didn't understand this because we were living back in this day in a land of basically two different tribes, 2.5, right? So you had Yehuda, you had Benjamin, and you had some of the Levites that were around of all of the 12 tribes of Israel. Now the other 10 tribes, or 9.5, or however you want to look at it, had been dispersed. And so they were across the Euphrates, they were all over the place, and that is according to the story of Hosea. Now, if you guys have never read the book of Hosea, it's a very, very small book. It is a very incredible book, and it very much seems to relate for me, to the same times that we are in, right? It basically prophesies these 10 tribes of Israel that are dispersed. And according to this prophecy, it's even to this day. So when we are trying to find our identities, according to the scriptures, we could very well be the lost tribes of Israel ourselves. And according again to scriptures, it says at the end of times that we are all gathered together. So that being said, I would look for a second Exodus at some point, probably when everything is hitting the fan so badly that you just don't know what's going to happen. You're probably a messenger is going to be popping in and taking care of us. Some amazing supernatural event is going to happen according to what scriptures say. Now, the second part of this is a renewed command that I give you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. Now, this isn't a new command. This is a renewed command. Because in the Torah in of itself, we have all of these stipulations that we take care of the widows, we take care of the broken, we take care of the orphans, we take care of, there's a setup, there's a group that we take care of them, right? You do this out of love, right? You love the orphans, you love the widows, you love all these people that are broken, that are, even in the land of Yisrael, you had fields of grain that you weren't supposed to glean all of it, so that the broken and the homeless and the starving could go and take care of it. So this isn't a new command. And the Christians will take this and they go, well, there's only two commands. Love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. And I do that, so all the Torah is wrapped up in that. They don't understand what they are saying. The Torah is all of the Torah. It's all of it. And when we keep the Torah, all of it, then by default, we are loving our Yahuwah, our Elohim Most High, with all of our heart, mind, and soul. When you hate his laws, statutes, and commandments, you hate him. And nobody will admit this. There's not a religious system that will say, okay, yeah, you're right. We hate the commands of God. We hate it. We hate it, but we love him, right? They're never going to admit they hate our creator. That's the bottom line. And they'll defend this to the grave. 36. Shimon Kifa said to him, Adonai, where are you going? Yahushua answered him, where I am going, you are unable to follow me now, but afterwards you shall follow me. What in the world does he mean? Kifa said to him, Adonai, why am I unable to follow you now? I shall lay down my life for you. And, I do not doubt this loyalty of Shimon Kifa, right? We know the story. We know that he was tempted. We know that he failed this test. And we also know that he was crushed when he failed this test, right? And this same test is a lot for all of us, right? There's a lot to be said, for loyalty. And, a lot of us live in the office. A lot of us live around the water coolers of different places, right? A lot of us have opportunities every day to either deny our Messiah or to claim his victory and claim the Torah, right? And a lot of times it's where we get in these places where we just don't say anything or don't get in the conversation. But a lot of times we can simply defend the word and do it in a great way, right? There's always a way to get in the conversation and go, well, I've read the scriptures and this is what it says, but that's how it is. So defend our Messiah at all costs. 38, Yahushua answered him, shall you lay down your life for me? Truly, truly, I say to you, the cock shall not crow at all until you have denied me 3 times. Okay, and with that, guys, that is the end. Eli, get the music ready. Go ahead. That is the end of this.
We have some questions.
All right, what do you got?
All right, I'm not sure how to say this name, but it's a Javi Yahoo. I've seen some comments on the on
Okay.
YouTube from this person, but they have questions. Says, have been wondering about Messiah. We know he says that no man has seen the Father. So Messiah Yahuwah So was Messiah Yahuwah in the Tanakh at the burning bush, the fourth man in the fire, the one who created all things.
All right, so one more time.
Okay.
Read that one more time.
So you're wondering about Messiah.
Right.
We know he says no man has seen the Father.
Right.
So was Messiah Yahuwah in the Tanakh at the burning bush, the fourth man in the fire, the one who created all things?
So, that's a great question, right? And the thing is, I would say if you're looking at a bush burning, you're not looking at the creator in physical form, right? You're looking at a burning bush. So we know from the time of Moshe, when Yahuwah went by and Moshe our creator had to cover his eyes or he would have died, right? So as far as, saying that, no man has ever seen, I don't think any man has seen our creator, right? But as far as seeing a miracle or a burning bush and the bush speaking, I mean, I don't know if that would so much classify as seeing our creator, right? It's not really seen it. And so I hope that answers that. Okay.
And then, let's see. What about the Father and him are one Akkad?
Well, they're in spirit, right? And so, that's the thing is, my family and I, we're all in one Akkad, right? Jaden runs a computer store. Caden runs a graphic design company, and Eli and Miss Nicole, they run a frozen food company, right? A clean food frozen food company. And I sit and I babysit the dogs. At some level, we are all one Akkad. We are all one spirit. We're all unified in everything that we do as a family, right? We're not fighting against each other. So just because, I mean, but when I say we're one accord, when we're together as a unified family, that's not saying that my wife is me or Jaden's me or my kids or anything, right? You can do things. In fact, look at it at a normal company, right? A team. If you get into a team, what do they call teamwork, right? You're doing things with unity, but it's a team, right? And our Creator and His Son is a team, right? They are an absolute dynamic duo of justice and amazingness. All right, let's roll. Miss Nicole, you got anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. All right, everybody. So we are getting ready to say our goodbyes. Jade, will you please bless our brothers and sisters?
Yahuwah brought you and guard you. Yahuwah may his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahuwah face upon you and give you peace.
All right, everybody. So here we are. Much love to y'all. We will kick it off with the last 3 songs.
Stand firm now, don't give in. Set apart, hearts win again. Code is light, clean and bright. Torah truth defines the fight. Call to hope, living true. Not old ways, made brand new. Set apart means daily choice. Listening close to Yah's voice. Stand firm now, don't give in. Set apart, hearts win again. Codex lives, clean and bright. Torah truth defines the fight. Not shaped by former desire. Truth refined like tested fire. Obedient love proves who we are. Torah light, our guiding star. Stand firm now, don't give in. Set apart, hearts win again. Codex lives, clean and bright. Torah truth defines the fight. Fear Yahuwah, walk His ways, honor truth through all your days. Temporary world will fade, eternal truth cannot decay. Stand firm now, don't give in. Set apart, hearts win again. Codex lives, clean and bright. Torah truth defines the fight. Children rise without retreat, standing firm on holy feet. Truth obey, not just heard, living proof of Yah's word. Stand firm now, don't give in. Set apart, hearts win again. Codex lives, clean and bright. Torah truth defines the fight. Stand firm now, don't give in. Set apart, hearts win again. Codex lives, clean and bright. Torah truth defines the fight.
All right, here we are. Let's get to Mishli 4.
Hold the path, don't turn aside. Torah truth is our guide. Light grows brighter every day. Walk in Yahuwah's way. Hear His promise. peace and all the path don't turn aside. Torah truth is our light. Light grows brighter every day. Walking Yahuwah's way. All the path don't turn aside. Torah truth is our light. Light grows brighter every day. Walking Yahuwah's way. We don't just shout, we don't just sing. We serve Yahuwah, mighty King. Hands that help and hearts that obey. That's how we praise the Torah way. Give service, not empty words. Do what's right, let love be heard. Hear Yahuwah, then obey. Walk His Torah every day. Baruch are the ones who do, not just talk but follow through. Yahushua came by sea, teaching truths so faithfully. Women shouted praise out loud, but he pointed to the crowd. Give service, not empty words. Do what's right, let love be heard. Hear Yahuwah and obey. Walk His Torah every day. Baruch are the ones who do, not just talk but follow through. Oh, glory is not yours to give. He said, serve, that's how you live. Words can fly, but fade away. Service stays and shows the way. Give service, not empty words. Do what's right, let love be heard. Hear Yahuwah and obey. Walk His Torah every day. Baruch are the ones who do, not just talk but follow through. Oh, one cry out with loud delight. Baruch, the one who gives you life. Mighty answer, strong and true. Baruch are the ones who do. Give service, not empty words. Do what's right, let love be heard. Hear Yahuwah, then obey. Walk His Torah every day. Baruch are the ones who do, not just talk but follow through. So we learn with joyful cheer, obeying Torah year to year. We don't brag, we don't pretend. We serve our King until the end. Give service, not empty words. Do what's right, let love be heard. Hear Yahuwah, then obey. Walk His Torah every day. Baruch are the ones who do, not just talk but follow through. Give service, not empty words. Do what's right, let love be heard. Hear Yahuwah, then obey. Walk His Torah every day. Baruch are the ones who do, not just talk but follow through.
All right, beautiful family. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for listening to Yah's word. Thank you for being a part of this scripture family. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May His light forever shine on you. May the Torah be a part of your life forever. May Messiah Yahushua always be the king. And may we all greet each other, find each other in the kingdom to come, and experience the obedience to our Creator together.